Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid. I got another turn for you. Turn 30 or turn 64 with Bumble Rumble. So that means middle-aged Atlantis. If you recall last episode, I had said there was a very good chance we'd be having a lot of battles coming up, and we also dropped Arcane Nexus. So we see a Dire Portent was cast. God of Pythium, the Foundation, Master of Hunting, King of the Hunters cast Global Enchantment. Okay, so that's weird. And then we cast Arcane Nexus, and it went up successfully. So, let's try to figure out what happened. Now, the turn before, all of the same spells were up, except instead of Nexus, there was Eye of the Gods. And his spell went off before mine. So, I think what happened... Okay, let's go through, like, semi-likely scenarios. One scenario is that he overcast Eye of the Gods, and then and that wouldn't have taken RNG, that would have just like hit Eye of the Gods, and then I stole Arcane Nexus. Or not stole Arcane Nexus, I put Arcane Nexus up and it overrode his. The other option, of course, is that he cast Arcane Nexus, it targeted Eye of the Gods, and then my Arcane Nexus went and overrode his casting of Arcane Nexus because I put more gems in it. I think that's what happened. Which is hilarious, really. A final option is that he cast some other spell, not Arcane Nexus, and not Eye of the Gods, and out of the 7 slots, it picked one, and then when I went to cast, it got to again pick out of 7 slots, and it picked the same slot his did. Right, which is why this isn't, like, terribly likely, because it's a 1 in 49 chance that we both pick the same slot. Yeah. So that's, I think, a little unlikely. I think what happened, because Pythium is a nation that is big, it loves pearls, because it has some of the best pearl gem sinks in the game, with like getting seraphs and things like that. I think what happened, and he's had Stellar Focus up for a long time, I think he went for a big Arcane Nexus casting. And I think we wiped it out. That is what I think happened. Even if he went for an Eye of the Gods overcast, that's a lot of pearls down the drain. And why this is important is that if you were... Pythium is one of the big players who could get rid of my Arcane Nexus with pearls. And TNG's obviously the other big one. Yes could also contribute a fair amount. So I think with these players... yeah. I mean, with Pythium getting wiped out of pearls, if that's what happened, like if he put all his pearls in Nexus and then he got wiped out, that's really, really, really good for me. The downside of it is he knows that I overcast him, so however much he put, he knows I did more. And he can quickly share that with everybody, which if they can't dispel it immediately, they'll probably, you know, they won't waste, like let's say he put 200 gems on a dispel, and... oh, 1 second. Okay, yeah, sorry, my dogs were going crazy. Yeah, so basically there's not a ton of people to pool pearls to take Nexus down. But they're going to know... It kind of functions like they've already done their first dispel cast, and they know how many gems they put in it, so they'll only go up from there. So it does make it more likely that, you know, the next dispel will be successful. But we'll see. We'll see. I have no idea how much they put in. So potentially I need to save pearls more than I otherwise would. But anyway, but it's really, I mean, it's very good news, I think. And, you know, worst case scenario was I got unlucky and Maelstrom got taken down. And of course that didn't happen. So I think the next objective is to steal Stellar Focus. And then once I have Stellar Focus, I can look at what else I want to do. Now, I might steal Celestial Rainbow too. I'm really having second thoughts on that. Because... Well, okay. Basically, I thought it did more. I thought I would get like 1,500 gold a turn or something, because I thought you got different pot of gold events all over the place. Based on the size of your empire. Sorry, it's my cheat chat. And, yeah. It doesn't. It just gives you basically 500 gold a turn. And I don't think it scales with empire size. But it will give you a chance of blocking spells from hitting you. So it's not nearly as good of an economy spell. But if I were going to attack Tianqi and I want to do magic phase attacks, then I would definitely want it on my side. What I'm not sure of, and if I'm fighting somebody who's going to be potentially mind hunting me or doing magic phase attacks or whatever, it would be really nice to have. But I'm not going to benefit. I mean, I'll benefit from 500 gold is not a lot for me if you didn't know. And if you take, I think you get 2 to 3 luck. I think you get 3 luck out of it, but maybe only 2. So if you're neutral luck and it gets you to positive luck, it's good. Now Tianqi, I think they were misfortune maybe, and this has gotten them to luck, like to neutral. So they're not actually benefiting from they're benefiting from getting rid of misfortune. I think it's still worth it. I'm not gonna like penny pinch until I can feel comfortable casting it. I'm gonna save water, but I'm not gonna save it like terribly quickly, I don't think. Now let's look at all the battles. Okay, so there's one here where we are attacking Toledo. Okay, so this is one of our forces, and it looks like we know the knights are part of non-PD, right? So it's some PD. These guys are not PD, and these guys are not PD. So he's defending. And we've got a bunch of stuff going on. We've got Mass Regen. We've got Acid Storm. There goes Earth Power. Now, Gift of Health, which Tianqi has, I would really like to steal too. And I have a phenomenal nature income. If I ever stop summoning stuff, I could do it. Let's see Falling Frost spam coming down. More Falling Frost spam. These guys have rusty equipment. Here in the backline, we can see we've already gotten rid of one of the mages. This guy appears to be routing, but the mages get fatigued out really fast with Grip of Winter up. And Frost and Quagmire, that increases their encumbrance. So, yeah, they fatigue out pretty freaking fast. Like, this guy's fatigued out, yeah. Okay, so there we go. We killed everything in Toledo. Now, he had about... Apparently a lot of this was actually not PD. His PD wasn't terribly high. Killed his mages, so this is really good for taking his fort. Now, it appears that the army that he had on Pangaea and ran out into my Acid Storm Trap has come back to Pangaea. But I don't think he knew how big of an army I had moving in. There's a big old army here. See how the Shadow Blast does while our buffs go off. Swing and a miss. Oh man, that murdered some Movarks though. That cast alone just is worth it. Okay, there goes the Legions of Steel. With Legions of Steel, our guys have, what, 15 protection? Is that right? Yeah. Not super incredible, but not bad. Those Movarks are freaking killy. I really need Army of Gold. When I have Army of Gold, I'm gonna crap on this army. And we are running up alteration right now, in case you forgot. Now, I think that my guys should get rusty equipment too, I think. I don't see anybody with it. But I've definitely been hit by it. I really need some elucidation on the acid storm mechanics. I think I'll ask in Discord after this, so. Okay, they have burned through this. Now they are running back forward instead of into my mage core, which actually is good. These Mobarks are just so fucking good. They're really strong. Now their army has routed because we've killed most of their footmen. And their Mobarks are trying to make it out, but there's a big blob of my guys in front of them. And they're still plenty killy enough, even with their route statistics, so that they're probably going to chew their way through a lot of my guys. They definitely, almost no matter what, have been killing their weight. And, been killing their weight in War Shamblers. So. Okay, so let's take a look at this battle. We killed one of the druids, a little upsetting. We killed 60 of these guys, which are 12 gold. So, not a ton of money, like, what is that? 100, or, yeah, I don't know. Movarks, we got 10, and then the Yisian Men-at-Arms, which are better or more expensive than the other guys we killed. Yeah, so if we add it together, we killed about 120 basic troops, which cost on average about 13, and then yeah, I mean, it was a fair amount, probably like 1,000. I don't even know. We're not doing the math, and it's a little early in the morning. My brain hasn't booted up. On our side, we lost the Jade Sorceress. We lost 50 War Shamblers. So we still traded about equally in terms of gold for troops, because my guys are more expensive than his, except for the Movarks. The Movarks are, of course, a big variable there, because not only are they, you know, recruitable only out of the capital, but they're really expensive. So, actually, I'm going to do the math real quick. Okay, I'm kind of glad I went and did the math, because somebody would have left some comments about how stupid I was. Because, yeah, we didn't really trade evenly. So, his total cost is around, like, 2,500. And that's not really counting for the mages. And then my cost is around, like, 1,100. Now, I lost a couple, I don't know, actually, 130, and then these guys are really cheap. Oh, wait, no, they're not. Yeah, 300. So I lost a little bit more in terms of mages, but whatever. Like this Lich that died, he retreated back, and meanwhile I got, I think all the items that were on the Lich, the Skull Staff and the Ghost Orb, and then a Water Bracelet and the Thistle Mace and a Coral Blade. So yeah. I would say this was a pretty big win for me, even though I lost a lot of troops, which has kind of been the name of the game. And I've really been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about that as I've been looking how big everybody else is on this map. But I've been thinking more and more, the games you win are usually dictated by when you just completely munch somebody else. And when a turning point in a game is when you find the right player who you can munch quickly. And this war with Yes is becoming very protracted, but there's not going to be an easy way to settle it, because I think he thinks he can have more than he's going to end up getting. So anyway, that's been weighing on me. Okay, now this is a battle that is in his, this is not really working very well, so there. Okay, Cold Blast. Okay, they're kind of getting through my front line. And they're getting into my Mage Core, and it's not going to take them terribly long to... Okay, we do have Frozen Heart spam. There's just too many of them. So Acid Storm is not very good against these guys. It's basically kind of what's happening. Okay, and now they're murdering all of my really expensive mages. Don't do it. And all the water gems I put on him. I did not see that. This I thought was like my strongest army because I had a ton of mage support. I guess I didn't have enough troops, and then my troops that I had got in the wrong spot so that these guys got to my back line. Stupid Movarks. So these Movarks, it is so hard to trade cost efficiently with Movarks unless you're just zapping them with mages. Yeah. Pythium, I think, was just... This guy was diseased, he was just sacrificing him. So, yeah, this is not good for me. Now, we killed a Morgan Sorceress, who's 420 gold. And then we killed 2 Yisian Druids, that's another 300 gold. So that's like 700 gold here. And then we killed these guys, which is another, like, 1,000, what, 300 or something gold. So yeah, still like at least 2k losses in gold for these guys. But on my side, it's way worse. I mean, we lost, like 1,200 gold worth of Kings of the Deep. We lost, so that's now like 1,400, and then on, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. This is really bad for me. So we had a few battles. We had this one, we had this one, and we had this one. All of these battles, we all traded. Nobody got, like, wiped. Well, except for this one. But, yeah, this was the only one I really got trounced in. But, the net effect, though, I think, is I'm a bigger economy than him. And, like, he's lost too much now. So, like, losing this battle was really, really bad for him. This was his army, which was designed to take Pangaea. It's not going to happen now. Almost all of his Movarks are dead. Like, he had 14 here and they're mostly dead. And he had 15 here and they're mostly dead. And if you're playing Yis, you cannot be letting your Movarks die like this. And, yeah, that's basically it. Like, Yis without Movarks, I haven't seen a build. I mean, I could imagine a build where you, I mean, because, like, their land druids are good, but, like, he's lost a ton of mages, too. It's not looking good. In terms of events, we got some fire gems and pearls, we got some death gems, and then, I pulled, for some reason last turn, I don't know why, but, one of my Amazons, which got teleported home. I think I took all the items off of her, including her Shambler skin, which kept her alive, so that was really, really dumb. I hope it wasn't a random. I don't think it was, but it could have been. Sometimes you make these mistakes. Now, I need to reinforce this portion of the map. So, we're going to be pulling these guys up here. Now, the problem, kind of, is that it's going to take a long time, and I thought about gatewaying. Like, I could zap them from here to here on top of one of these guys. But I was going to need some items which I'm going to use for something else. So I didn't do it, and it would use pearls, which you can see I found other uses for. Now, so this turn we didn't get any gems from Nexus, but coming up we will. So I'm a potential big source of Arcane Nexus gems, so I'm going to try to spend all my stuff. We're going to be casting a bunch of stuff. I think we're going to be getting some more liches. More leeches. Yeah. Now, I have come up with a dastardly play this turn, and I had a different. So at first, I was just going to sit on this fort. The walls are moderately damaged. Okay, that means we've done some damage, but we still have a long way to go. It's a 500 strength fort. Our siege strength is 189. We've got 2 more turns of sitting on it. Now, typically one would sit on forts. I hate sitting on forts. It's like my least favorite thing to do. And I think that's one of the things too that is a big like skill factor difference between being bad at the game and being okay at it, is not sitting on forts. Don't attack a fort unless you have a large siege strength where you can knock it down in 1 or 2 turns, and then if you're on it, there's no reason you need to stay sitting on it, especially if you're not knocking it down next turn, which in this case I'm not. So what I'm doing instead is we're running down here just to knock a temple down. This is Yis too. So Yis, if they're going to reinforce and try to kill this army, like let's say they have some Movarks somewhere, there's a good chance I'll move them here or move them here. I mean, there's a good chance I'll move them here. This is the only province that is 1 away, like, that's 2. If you go from Yis to this fort, this is the only one that is in direct path. So, if they move some Movarks here, but they're not scripted, because he's just going to, like, script them next turn, then I'll catch them. And fighting Movarks underwater can be much easier, because, like, in this case, I won't be falling frosting them, but I will be, like, water striking the shit out of them. Or frozen hearting them. Yeah, you can do frozen heart underwater. So, this would be kind of hilarious, just, like, zap the shit out of them with frozen heart. You can't do falling frost or anything, which is, you know, normally fun, but... But if it's a small group of those guys, they're gonna get pretty well trounced here. Web would not be really bad. Anyway, so we're gonna go here and jump off the fort. Meanwhile, I've got some reinforcements up here, and we're going to bring them to this place, like just to raid, basically, and then they can come sit on top of the fort next turn. I've got a nice water mage, and water mages, if you remember, are really good on land. So we're going to be bringing him here. Now, next turn, okay, I've also bid on all the mercs, and nobody's been bidding on them, but I need them to siege this fort down. So I'm going to go ahead and bid on them here. I forget how it works. I think mercs come after battles. So I think if he kicks me off, because I've just got, like, this one guy left on, then I don't think I'll get to keep the mercs. I have no idea how that works, but whatever. We're just, if he gets his fort back for a turn, that's fine. We'll knock him off next turn. I say that, but then we might not. So, anyway. So, we're moving down here to knock out the temple, and then we're moving here to raid. This is a nice high-income province. This army that I just used to kill Yis here, we've still got a lot of mage support, a lot of goodies, and it's like, okay, where do we go? I think we're going to move them here. Now, I basically have 2 moves. I could move here, or I could move here. If I move here, there's a chance this army intercepts me, and they intercept me where they potentially could do a PD dump. And this, I think, is a more predictable move, and I don't really want to do it. And this is also going to open up some other options for me, but yeah. I need more troops. The thing is, and this is what I've kind of been thinking about, is I need to get out of, like, this is a very, very expensive war with Yis. And I need to get out of it, but I'm not going to give Yis any of his land, and ideally I want all of Yis's land. So how do I do that? We're gonna actually go for the checkmate here. And pretty stoked about this, because this came to me, like, well after I did the turn. And I was just sitting here stewing on how, really, it's only his Movarks, and it's so hard to kill them cost efficiently. Now, potentially I need more Frozen Heart spam. That would be pretty good against them. But, like, Acid Storm is apparently horrible against them. It's not doing shit. They're too fast, they're too killy, it's a slow kill, it's not good. Maybe I just need to crank a shit ton of these guys, like, these guys out. Maybe we do that. These guys can go underwater, right? Yeah. Maybe I just have like a little Frozen Heart army. Do I have more? Not really. The interesting thing, so if you look in Pangaea, I can't get any national troops, even though it's my fort, and that's because we can only get them on coastal provinces. So Yis is not really meant to go too far. I mean, not Yis. Atlantis isn't really meant to go too far inland. This basically, I can't recruit anything. Anything I want in Pangaea, I've basically got to send there. But yeah. So anyway, I'm failing versus the Movarks, so I can do things like maybe do more Frozen Heart spam and take them out better. But you know, Falling Frost in theory should do it better than that. But I've got a better idea, guys. We are gonna go for the Death Blow, and the Death Blow is locking up their cap. There's a few things in the Death Blow. One is if we raid their cap circle. And I can potentially do PD dumps in there or whatever I want to, so it's a little difficult for them to take back. So we can raid their cap circle, which is what we're going to be doing already, right, with this move. Now, the nice thing about Yes, so this is crazy. Actually, this is why there's so many freaking Movarks. Is look at this. I didn't even notice this. Holy shit. Some of you've probably been commenting in the videos, but since they aren't uploading at all yet by the time I'm recording this, I wouldn't have seen it, but holy shit. Like, okay, look at my capital. Oh, I have 3 underwater provinces to recruit from. Look, guess how many resources I can get. Yis has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is unheard of for underwater provinces, basically. You never get that many. And this is in his cap. It's nuts. So this is why he has so many. Holy shit. I just figured this out right now. Anyway, we are gonna raid the shit out of here. I'm making a bunch of Starshine Skullcaps, and we are going to have our guys ninjaing around, and I don't even care if I lose the items. We are going to shut down his cap. Now, the first thing we're going to do, and this is the big, you know, nut up move, is we've got this guy, and we actually need to rename him. We will rename him to, call him Chase. So Chase is dropping in on Yis's cap. Now, why is this a good idea? This is a good idea because Yis has no idea that Chase is coming. I have not done any underwater raiding yet. He has no idea I'm even going to be attacking underwater. His cap is not under check by any armies. I can't trace income to his cap, so he would think. There are a ton of reasons why he would not expect it. Now, the PD that he is going to get, I don't remember if it's a princess. I think it's a champion or so. I don't know. It's the weakest one of these you get. It's a water one, air one, I think. Could be a prince. Well, I forget. But I think it's the weakest one of these. Little horsey thugs. It may be a princess, I can't remember. But basically, I think it's a water one, air one. It could be air two. I don't think so. So that's going to be a little dangerous because it can hit me with lightning. It won't be scripted. So it will probably, I think, who knows what it's going to do. But we have to be ready to deal with that. And I mean, that's a problem. But aside from that, and we're going to have fire resistance because we've got, morale is going to be a big issue, right? Because right now we're at 20 morale, but in enemy dominion, we are going to be in significantly worse shape, right? We'll basically be at 13 plus 5, which is 18 minus 1. We'll be at 17 morale, which is not great. But we have a lightning shield, so that is going to kill stuff around us reasonably quickly. It's also going to give us shock resistance, so if that little thug throws lightning bolts at us, it won't be that bad. We've got rainbow armor, and we've got boots of the messenger, so that we're not going to fatigue out. This also is going to get our MR kind of high. And then the ring of regen, I think the biggest risk here is that I rout. And like ideally I think I would give them a flesh eater. but I don't have one. But this Coral Sword is going to give me, instead of 3 regen, I'll be at 4, I think, which will be nice. Though potentially it might be better to have a brand and kill stuff more quickly. That's, yeah, I don't know. The script we've got is resist magic in case they have somebody there patrolling or something for Soul Slay. Body Ethereal, Astral Shield, Breath of Winter, Ice Shield, attack closest. Now, we're not doing Liquid Body. And actually, I think it's very unlikely they're going to do that. Maybe we do Liquid Body. Yeah, I think we do that. The chances of them doing things that are going to do MR checks are, I think, really low. And if they do it, I'm probably screwed anyway, because that means they have stuff patrolling, which I think is unlikely. So, Liquid Body, Body Ethereal, Astral Shield, Breath of Winter, Ice Shield, attack closest. This guy's going to be very, very hard to kill. Body protection is not great, only 18, but I think that's enough. Because with Body Ethereal, almost nothing's going to hit him. With Liquid Body, Breath of Winter is going to be super important since it will fatigue everybody else around me out. Yeah, Ice Shield is going to basically so this is going to cut by 3/4 incoming damage from normal troops. This will cut it in half, and this will cut it in half again. So there's not going to be much coming in, and then Astral Shield is going to paralyze a bunch of people, and Breath of Winter will eventually put them to sleep. So, unless I think I route, or unless there's some mage doing weird things there, I think we're going to be pretty good. And the 5 shock resistance is going to be good, and the 5 fire resistance is going to be good. This will be good in case that thug runs in and hits me. Well, no, they don't have the fire breath underwater. But this will be good in case they shoot me. The hat is really for fire resistance. I mean, really for the morale. Because morale is like the big weakness on these guys. Which I think later we'll fix by cranking out flesh eaters. But for now, we don't really have them. Okay, so we're doing that on his cap. Now, I think there's a very high chance that this works. Like, a very high chance. A risk of doing this, right, is that, you know, he dies. Which is, this is now pretty expensive. This is like 10, 20, 30, 35, 45, 55. This is 55 gems with... I put a bunch of pearls on him too, so he can do things like anti-magic next turn, which we'll talk about. But he's going to go on top of Yis's cap. Then I'm going to have this army here. Now, what is important about this? What's important about this is this army now can move on top of his cap. Which means he will have to kick me off of his cap with stuff that is not of his cap. So basically he's going to be map move 1, moving shit in, and if at any point I feel, now okay, there's risks with this too, like I have no idea what's in his cap. So if he has a shit ton of stuff in his cap, he could just destroy me, probably, but I don't think that's the case. I've killed so many Movarks, I doubt he has like a big Movark stockpile in his cap. He may have 10, but I can deal with 10 underwater Movarks. Underwater Movarks are not as scary as land Movarks. I won't have access to all my spells, which are good above water, but that's fine. Right, so this is the sneaky play, is that we're moving here, and the same turn we're knocking out his PD. If we didn't do that, then he could potentially patrol and have much like, it would be very difficult for me to move this army and fight his PD, plus his normal guys. And it's going to prevent 1 turn of Movark and Cap Mage recruitment. If it works. Meanwhile, we will be taking this, which I guess has a basalt statue and a temple in it. We are also going to be raiding again with a teleporting thug. If I can find them. I think they're coming out of here, yeah. We probably can give you, yeah, Bracer would be good. Anything else I want to give you, good sir? I don't really have another shield. Okay. Anyway, this guy's gonna zap here to just take another cap-only province. I mean, a cap-circle province. Now, actually, it might be better if we could even go, like, more YOLO, but back this way. No, we could. The question is, I have no idea what's here, and I don't know if I want to. I think this is nice and safe. It's going to limit cap circle stuff some. It's also going to potentially, well, he has a fort here. I don't think he has a fort here. But it's going to block, well, he can still recruit this way. I was going to say it's going to block one of his recruitment paths, like, or reinforcement paths into his capital, but... now his script is going to be... I don't really know if this is a good script. It's probably not. Again, if they're going to have Astral Mages there, we're kind of fucked. So I think we're going to skip that. Just go with Astral Shield, Body Ethereal. And we're not doing Liquid Body either. Come on, man. Okay. And I think this guy... if this is heavy PD, we're in trouble. But... we can't do a ton of buffs. I think 3 buffs is enough. We don't have any kind of fatigue mitigation gear. So really, we're going to prevent incoming damage, give a kill him quickly, and just hope we kill them before we fatigue out. It's kind of going to be the play. An attack here. Now, if he's done a I mean, look, there's a million ways this thing could go wrong. Do we have... and I've got all my hammers back to use now. They've kind of been sitting around not doing much for a while, but everybody's making stuff. We're making more water lenses and coral blades. Coral blades I can make for two water gems, which is really cheap with the hammer because they're cheaper for Atlantis. Which really plays into, I think, the right way to play Atlantis, which is with additional hit points and doing battlefield wipes. Definitely want coral blades for that. More water bracelets coming out. Dragon helmet. Yeah, anyway. Starshine skullcap. Making a ton of stuff. Oh, finally. I didn't get to this for the events. We got a national hero. It's our highest astral mage we get. Astral 3, so kind of cool. I have higher, obviously, on my pretender, so I'm not sure what I'm going to use this guy for. For now, he's just going to research. But probably I should find a better use for him. Okay, so that's kind of the big play, right? Is he's expecting me to sit on top of this fort. Potentially he's going to reinforce this way. If he does, we're going to hit that with an army. We're going to go raid his cap, which I can then reinforce with an entire army. And then the only thing I think I might need to do that I'm not doing, I think I'm going to give you some water gems here. Now, it's just kind of, if he dies, it's even worse, but whatever. That way, when this army moves in, we can reinforce the army with water gems. And I don't know if I'm actually going to storm the fort. I just want to pin him inside of his capital. We've got more reinforcements coming through this canal, or this little causeway here. And I'm making more deep raiding gear, so I really want to start raiding his economy. Like deep in the ocean. So we've talked about this, we've talked about this, we've talked about all that. Here, this is kind of the only survivor of this battle, so he's going to limp with whatever troops he has back. We're sending somebody out with a retreat script just to pick up... I've got some shamblers here that I don't want to die. If he attacks it, then so be it, they're dead. But if he doesn't, then I'll have a turn to hopefully get them out. We're moving in reinforcements up this way. Is this a... yeah, we've upgraded that. Blood hunting. Right, so we're making an armor of twisting thorns. We have enough blood slaves, so we're going to do that. And then this will be a reasonably efficient Blood Hunter. We'll probably then go ahead and empower a Death Mage after this. And then we'll probably start making Flesh Eaters with the empowered Death Mage. Because those are going to be really, really important for raiding. Morale has screwed me so many times in raiding. What else? We're starting to kind of build up a... Well, we were starting to build up an army here. I've kind of stopped recruiting. I probably... Well, I don't have anybody. Okay, we're upgrading this. I do want to have... And I probably need to upgrade this too. I haven't even thought about it. Can I upgrade it? Yeah, I think we're going to actually reduce recruitment here till I can upgrade... So I can upgrade this. Have anybody else. We're gonna just waste the mage turn doing it. That'll give me some more income. I want to have like a thick wall that's gonna make it slow for relay to attack. I probably need scouts. I need to know where relays like big armies are. Thing is, now that I put Nexus up, there's a much higher chance that relay attacks me, and we don't have a nap. I probably have to start building up more troops here, but I really don't have enough money to do everything I want to do. Which is always good. If you have enough money to do everything you want to do, then... Yeah. Yeah, so this army's moving here. I think we've talked about most everything now. So I think that's about it for this turn. But I'm a little pleased with myself that, that potentially we are going to stop the Movark production, which... I mean, honestly, guys, that's what's killing me. Like, I lost so many War Shamblers this turn. Like, when I lose this many, like 50 here, 100 here, or no, well, however many, another 50, yeah, so like 100 total. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic, but, yeah, I can't, I'm not gonna win any war quickly where I'm taking this much attrition. So, and the whole reason is the Movarks. It's just these Movarks are so sick. So we are going to try as best we can to pin him in his cap. Shut down Movark production. If he's gonna kick me off his cap, man, he better be ready, because I'm gonna start teleporting in mage reinforcements. We are gonna, with gems, we are gonna hold his cap while we conquer the rest of his empire. And hopefully we'll get enough mercs here to siege this down reasonably quickly. We need to get the wheels off the Yis wagon. He's done a good job fighting, and it's been slow, but yeah, this war is too high attrition. It's making us very exposed to if another war starts, because right now it's taking literally all of our attention. And with that, I hope you're enjoying the series as much as I am. I hope that you are stoked about Arcane Nexus going up, as I have. I think this is the first time I've cast it correctly, which is like early enough in the game for you to glean a big benefit off of it, and with a nice big fat overcast. I think it's hilarious that Pythium and I probably put Arcane Nexus up on the same turn, and that I won. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, one last thing. It just occurred to me, because somebody might mention it in the comments. He actually didn't do Eye of the Gods and steal that first, because the message that we got for the Dire Portent, it didn't say anything. It just said he's cast a global. And there's only a few spells that it doesn't really give you a message, and I think Eye of the Gods, I think it has a message. Usually the lower level spells, there's a message. Some of the like tier 9 level spells, there's not really a message. So yeah, probably like I'm pretty damn sure he put Nexus up. Not sure. I'm highly suspicious that he put Nexus up, and then I took it from him the same turn. Booyah! That's awesome. All right. Anyways, awesome guys. I'll see you next time.